हेलो किड्स, वेलकम टू अनुदीप योर स्टडी बडी। आज हम साइंस का नया चैप्टर दैट इज लाइट स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं। इस टॉपिक में आज के पार्ट में जो हम पढ़ने वाले हैं दैट इज मेनली ल्यूमिनस एंड नॉन ल्यूमिनस ऑब्जेक्ट्स, रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट, रे डायग्राम, लॉज ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन, टाइप्स ऑफ रिफ्लेक्शन एंड इन सारे टॉपिक्स पर बेस्ड कुछ प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चन। तो शुरू करते हैं। So kids, we know sense of sight is one of the most important of our senses. हम अपनी आँखों से ही चारों तरफ सीनरी, बर्ड्स, एनिमल्स, अपना कोई फेवरेट स्पोर्ट्स खेलते हुए किसी स्पोर्टमैन को देखना या बुक पढ़ना, रात में चांद या तारे देखना, ये सब हम अपनी आँखों से देखते हैं। लेकिन हमारी आँखों को ये सब देखने में कौन हेल्प करता है? So it is light that allow us to see, and it is because of light that we see everything in spectacular color. So ये समझना important है कि लाइट हमें देखने में कैसे हेल्प करती है। हम लाइट की डिफरेंट प्रॉपर्टीज को समझेंगे जो हमें अलग अलग डिवाइसेस क्रिएट करने में हेल्प करती है। लाइट जहाँ से ओरिजिनेट होता है उसे हम सोर्स कहते हैं। अभी तक लास्ट क्लासेस में हमने 3 टाइप्स ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट पढ़े हैं, दैट इज ट्रांसपेरेंट, translucent and opaque. Objects which passes all lights through them which falls on it are called transparent objects. Example air, water, glass. Translucent objects वो होते हैं जो अपने में से some of the light pass करते हैं और remaining absorb करते हैं. For example trace paper, घी applied paper, wax paper, etc. And opaque objects are those objects which do not pass light through them. It means they absorb all the light. For example, book, table, etc. Besides these 3, there are 2 other types of object. First, luminous object. Object that gives light or they have their own light are called luminous object. For example, sun, light bulb. And objects that do not give out light or they don't have their own light are called non-luminous objects. For example, moon, table. अब जो भी हम देख पाते हैं that is because of light. This light is either given off by luminous object such as sun or light bulb or reflected by non-luminous objects such as tree, book, building or people around us. We are able to see objects around us due to reflection of light from non-luminous objects. Now let's understand what is reflection of light. To understand this reflection, imagine that you are reading a book at night and lights go off. You will not be able to read till the light come back. So when light falls on the book, the light bounces off from the book into your eyes and you are able to read the book. So this bouncing off of light from object it falls on is a property of light called reflection of light. Means लाइट का किसी सरफेस से टकराकर वापस आना रिफ्लेक्शन होता है. दिस रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट कैन बी अंडरस्टूड बाय रे डायग्राम. Now we know that a ray of light is a narrow beam of light that travel in a straight line. And diagrammatic representation of possible paths light can take is called ray diagram. Now we will understand some terms with the help of ray diagram shown here. The incoming ray of light is called incident ray. In this diagram, AO is an incident ray. An imaginary line that is drawn perpendicular to the surface of object where the incident rays strike is called normal. Normal is represented by dashed line or dot line. In this diagram, EO represents the normal. And after striking the surface of the object, the ray of light bounces off and it is called the reflected ray. In this diagram, OB is represented as the reflected ray. Now when incident ray falls on the surface of the object, then it forms an angle with the normal. And this angle is known as angle of incidence. It is denoted by I. So in this diagram, angle AOE is the angle of incidence or also known as I. In the same way, the reflected ray will also form an angle with the normal, which is called angle of reflection, and it is denoted by R. In this figure, angle EOB is the angle of reflection. Now at the time of reflection, ray of light follows certain laws, which are called laws of reflection. There are two laws of reflection. First, angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection. That is, I is equal to R. If angle of incidence is 60 degree, so angle of reflection be 60 degree hoga. And second law, the incident ray, the normal and the reflected ray always lie on the same plane. You can understand this law with the help of this diagram. Next is types of reflection. First, regular reflection. Regular reflection is seen when the surface of the object is smooth or plane, incident rays are parallel to each other, reflected rays are parallel to each other, and regular reflection form sharp image. For example, mirror. Mirror reflect all the light rays at the same angle. That is, parallel incident rays remain parallel after they are reflected. You can see this in figure that green line are the incident rays and they are parallel to each other. And after reflection, that is the blue lines, they all are parallel to each other. Second is diffused or irregular reflection. If the parallel light rays, that is the incident rays, are reflected by the irregular surface, they are non-parallel to each other and they go in the different direction. Then such type of reflection is known as irregular reflection. This reflection forms the blurry image. You can clearly see in this figure that all the green line, that is the incident rays, are parallel to each other, but the reflected blue rays are not parallel to each other and they go into the different directions. Now let's solve some questions based on the topics we learned today. Question 1. If ray of light falls on a plane surface perpendicular to it, what will be the angle of reflection? A 90 degree, B 0 degree, C 45 degree, D none of the above. Let's understand this question with the help of ray diagram. We are having a plane surface and a ray of light falls on the plane surface in perpendicular direction. And we know the normal will also be in perpendicular direction. So the angle of incidence, that is the angle between normal and incident ray, will be 0. And as angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection, so the angle of reflection will also be 0. Question number 2. Statement 1. Laws of reflection is obeyed in regular reflection. Statement number 2. Laws of reflection is obeyed in irregular reflection. Which of the following alternatives about the statements above is true? A. Statement 1 is correct. B. Statement 2 is correct. C. Both the statements are correct. D. None is correct. To solve this question, let's refer the regular reflection diagram. So in this diagram, we know blue rays are incident rays, red are the reflected rays, and black perpendicular and are normal. According to law of reflection, we know angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So this condition is fulfilled into the regular reflection, and as from the figure we can say that these incident ray, normal and reflected ray are in the same plane. So statement 1 is correct. For statement 2, let's refer the irregular reflection diagram, ray diagram. So in this diagram, again blue are the incident rays and red are the reflected rays, and N are normal. So in this diagram also we can see that angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection for each incident ray. So first law is fulfilled, and for second law we know that all the incident ray, normal and reflected ray should be in a one plane. So from this diagram we can say that both the laws of reflection are obeyed in irregular reflection also. So for this question, option C is the correct answer, that both the statements are correct. Next question, question number 3. Glare of light is a characteristic of A. Regular reflection, B. Irregular reflection, C. Both A and B, D. None of the above. So as we know, in regular reflection, all the reflected rays are parallel to each other. Due to this, light acquires high intensity and glare is produced in our eye. So option A, regular reflection, is the correct option for this question. Question number 4. If we change the angle of incidence by an angle 20 degree, how will the angle of reflection change? I think you can answer this in comment box. So try to solve this. It's very easy. I hope you understand the topic and enjoyed the video. So please like this video and subscribe our channel. Thank you.